and welcome to this week's YouTube vlog from Barton All Burner Services. I hope we're okay. Thanks everyone for subscribing. As always, we've got like 625 subscribers now. We literally can't believe that. So yeah, we are loving it as always. And the comments last week were great. There's especially one guy was doing a burner, had quite a big burner issue last week. I was trying to make up like one burner out of two, and a guy come on and was like, I've got one of them burners, the B9 for the Worcester. If you need it, let me know, blah blah blah. I'm in Norwich. You've got no idea, mate, how, if you're watching this, how tempted I was to come to Norwich. But thankfully, we did manage to get the blast tube on the Monday, and that heat slave is all up and running again. So yeah, we're really happy. So what's been going on this week? It's been busy. It's coming up to Christmas. The whole world wants their Aga Cooker doing. The whole world has got problems with their boilers that have suddenly appeared, but actually they've been there for months, but they're panicking because it's Christmas. It's been one of them weeks. It's been very, very busy. So I've really struggled to vlog this week. I finished a Sapphire external boiler, best boiler on the market, this week, and that all purrs and went absolutely fine. And then I've done a combi grant, took out a very, very old 58-year-old janitor boiler. I don't know if anyone's ever come across one of them in the oil world. Very old, good boiler in their day, but clearly, yeah, it's older than what I am. So yeah, we took that out, very heavy, made a cast iron, and the cylinder out because the gentleman wanted a combi. Went absolutely fine until one of his old compression joints in the loft for the hot water decided to pop, and you've guessed it, a bit of water through the ceiling. But you know what, these things happen, nothing we could do about it. Amazingly no damage. It was because he had quite a big crack in his ceiling already, and the water basically come through there, so we did sort of get away with that one. So yeah, I haven't really had time to vlog anything this week. It comes out at 6 o'clock today, the vlog, because today is Friday. It's currently 8:43 in the morning, and I'm going to attempt to do a bit of a vlog about something somewhere, and then my sister's going to edit it, and it's all going to look cool at 6 o'clock. Okay, so I'm not going to go on anymore. We're going to crack on with the whatever it is, because I've got no idea, vlog. Right, so here we are, Monday morning, back to that job with the Worcester that we're rebuilding. Officially have a new burner, or a refurbished burner, got the blast tube for it, all ready to go. Also managed to get a vessel in good time as well. So yeah, you're gonna see the job complete today. It's obviously last week we cleaned it all out, got it ready to go, and like I say, got all the burner and the vessel ready, and gonna stick it in. So I'm just literally pulling up to the place right now. I think it's this house here with a bush. First thing that I like to do, stick the vessel in a bucket. Now everybody does this differently, but I get bucket, stick the vessel in there, right? Secondly, as you can see, it's not much because it's faulty. We still have some pressure in there, so we need to get that out. So what I'm going to do is very slowly undo this hose, okay? Nice and easy, alright? So you can see we're starting to get some water come out of there. Very good. Not much pressure in here. As you can see, and slowly our pressure gauge will start going down. It's going to sit here, let this drain off until that pressure is on 0. And we've got no more water coming out. I've got the vessel off so you can see, but I didn't get anything come out the hose. And as you can see, look, I'm still 0.2 bars wide open, look, it's just dribbling out. So obviously it's obviously blocked in there, so I'm going to wait very patiently until we lose the water, and then I'm going to stick something down there and try and clean it up and clear it. But I mean, look at the state of that, seriously. But look, this is the vessel hose here, look. Totally blocked, look. Totally blocked, the vessel hose, look. So yeah, luckily I've got another one of them on my van, so I changed that. I need to try and clear this up because 0.2 bars of pressure, I mean, that's a bit rubbish, isn't it? To be honest, didn't have a new vessel hose on my van, but I've cleared this one out now. I've just stuck pressure in it. Well, as you can see, my bucket's nice and full now, and water's absolutely flying out there. Now the bucket's got some weight in it, I can use it as a little bit like this, look. What we're going to do is, washer comes with the vessel, nothing special on there. Pull back the
nut. Push that on there, making sure you know it seals. Over. Get the thread on. Bosh. It's easy as that. Make sure you got it at the right angle, so when you put it back in the boiler, it all lines up and fits. Don't do them up too tight, because you could break the washer. Away we go. Now, turn this valve, if we can. There we go. Nice and slowly. See, the pressure's now rising. Do it a bit faster, because I feel a bit adventurous today. Now, for now, I'm going to leave it there. The reason I'm going to leave it there is because when I get the burner in and warm the boiler up, that's going to shoot up to about 1.5 bars, to be fair, once I've run it for quite a while. I need to sort this gauge out, it's sort of falling apart. I mean, that red thing doesn't do anything, but might get in the way of the black dial. Let me get this back in place and we'll get the burner in. See that? Little peacock in the middle. I can't zoom in. Bloody peacock. In the middle of this funny village. What? We're getting it out. I made a mess, not gonna lie. Spilt my bucket on the floor. Hey ho, we all make mistakes. Yeah, same vessel hose, new vessel. I've just put a new control box on the boiler because, I mean, let's have a look. Look at that one. That don't look too great. So, put a new one of them on there quickly. Got a nice new nozzle in there. All ready to go. Set up all nozzle size. Back to this boiler, because obviously this burner originally was on a different boiler, and we've salvaged it, refurbished it, and here we are. So all I need to do now, get this oil line on here, get it nice and tight like that, blast tube in there, little nip screw up there, look, nip it in, fire it up. Right, so a bit upsetting really, but it's all right. I'll be honest, I got carried away, so got the burner in, did it up nice and tight, plugged it in, changed the fuse because obviously it had popped because originally the water went everywhere, and literally away it went. So I'm going to be totally honest with you, it was as easy as that. I plugged the burner in, it fired up, away it went, and I just left. So I'm going to be honest, I forgot to get a video of it, so I do apologise on my behalf. But anyway, vessel, all of that sorted, burner sorted, up and running, customer's very, very happy, I'm very happy, on to the next one. Brilliant, happy days.
I'm now off to a village near our office called Cumberton, and I'm going to quote for a new boiler install. So hopefully that'll be one that we do in maybe February, because that's how far we're booking ahead for them. And then I'm off to do a service afterwards, and then yeah, we'll see where we go from there. So I've been sent to this Thermocom. It's a slightly later one. Oh wait, you can't buy them anymore, but you can see the combustion lid is sort of set back a little bit on it. But you can see there's been leaks here. And there's been leaks here that have apparently been repaired, so I'll be checking them in a minute. I've actually come here to quote a boiler, but they're saying it's not running very well, and I found it's recirculating. So I've gone outside to the flue, basically it's starting to fall to pieces and you can't buy them anymore, so clearly, yeah, that's going to be the end of the boiler, so to speak, and it is quite old. I'm just going to check the burner, and we come across that. That's why it's intermittently not starting, because you can see the leaf or whatever it is arcing out across the electrodes. So that's why it's been not running very well as well. And for people that don't know, this is the Ecoflam Max burner, which is quite a straightforward burner. There's just the two screws here, one, and this one here, number two. Okay, for the blast tube, to get the blast tube off this one, just check it's not too hot, and pull, and away you go. Be careful here because you've got your HT leads, look. Okay, so I'm just going to rest that there and have a look down here. It's all looking okay. There's a bit of the leaf now that's fell out, and I'll just have a look where the rest of it's gone. Just want to bring your attention to something. I'm not fully stripping this burner down because literally I'm just here to look at a small fault, which I didn't think I was doing anyway because I'm quoting for a boiler, but there we go. Right, so when you put the blast tube back on these up here, the most important thing on the Ecoflam Max burner is to get these leads, when you're done, and just gently pull them out again. Like so. Okay, there they are. If you don't, then the photocell that's underneath will be covered by these leads, and then the boiler will keep going pop pop and keep trying to refire and create ignition all the time, and the transformers get a big bubble on the top, and that's the end of them. And then for people that are not experienced and don't realise, they then keep changing them and don't realise it's because they haven't put the leads back in again. So that's just a little trick, just to remember, trick of the trade, so to speak, on the Max 1. So I'm going to fire this one up, then I'm going to carry on doing my quote, and I'm going to manoeuvre on to my next job. Right, well, that was a change of plan, wasn't it? Go to look at a boiler quote stroke installation and then turn up and they tell you it's not working, it's refiring, messing around, smelling, blah, 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 blah. It was just a nozzle. Okay, I then find out it goes a bit deeper. There was a few other companies that have been there to look at it, etc, etc. It wasn't the right nozzle, just basic stuff like that really. So that's all up and running and fine now, which, yeah, I'm still going to quote for a boiler, but maybe they don't actually need one. The corrosion that you see on the combustion lid, actually when I pulled the combustion lid off, it had a new seal put behind it. So I think it's one of the other companies had obviously bodged it with fast cement, and then another one of the companies had obviously put a seal on it. So I think between them they'd all had a bit of a go. But yeah, it stopped recirculating now, which is brilliant. Normally it's the flue, but yeah, it wasn't on this occasion, so we'll take that. So I better crack on with my next job then. I'm off to a lady now. Unfortunately, she's disabled. She's lovely, she is, in a place called Napwell, and basically they've got a Grant combi boiler, and just randomly now and again it loses its pressure. One of the guys that works for me, he's been out a couple of times over the last few months for it, because we weren't sure if the carers were doing things like bleeding radiators and messing around and stuff like that. But it's, you know, we told them not to mess around with anything and just leave it. And obviously it's gone wrong again. So yeah, I'll be there in a few minutes. And hopefully if I can get some recording in, I can show you my findings. So yeah, off I go. Okay, so here I am. I've just turned up. I haven't gone inside yet or knocked on the door or anything. I just always have a look, because the flue's near the front door, so to speak. I'm just going to look outside first. My attention comes to this. So here's your pressure relief overflow pipe here for your pressure relief valve. Great job when they've drilled it, they've knocked the brick out. I'm just going to have a little feel at the bottom, just see if it's wet. It doesn't look like, well, it might look like it's been dripping potentially. It's not dripping now. I'm just going to put my finger on there. Maybe a little wiggle and have a look. Oh, it's wet. I know my finger's dirty, but that water is also dirty as well. So that's telling me straight away that's a dirty system. Okay, and the pressure relief valve's lifted. Now, they normally lift because they over-pressurise first, then they lift, and then the water comes out, and then because it's dirty water, it doesn't seep properly. Okay, so I need to investigate why it's lifted. Is it just a straightforward pressure relief valve failure? Is it an expansion vessel needs some work on it? Or is it something like a blocked vessel hose? So I'll just knock on the door and go in, and yeah, I'll be back. I'm in the house, dust sheets down, burner, just a combi boiler like I've explained to you before. As you see, the pressure is actually just over 1 bar, but I've just found out that the carer have actually just topped it up a while ago to 1.5, so it's obviously losing it slowly. Here we have the expansion vessel in here, the expansion hose, so obviously I'm going to check that all through shortly. Bit disappointing, just hanging in the boiler here is a thermostat receiver. I don't know why that's not on the wall, but there you go, that's not my way for today. I've got to get this lovely lady going again. So I'm going to pull the burner out, I'm going to pull that lot out, and I'll be back. Burner out, vessel out, vessel hose there. I need to take the pressure out before I can check anything. So the quickest way I find is to get a hose pipe. Clearly you can drain it from here, by the way, or crack that undone, or your PRV if you're an idiot. That's fine, but yeah, get a hose pipe. This is my best way of doing it for me. Okay, and we undo, make sure both taps are off. Undo the filling loop at the end where the cold main goes in. Okay, we're just going to take that out like so. and then I'm just going to connect my pipe on. And then we just undo the tap very slowly. Make sure there's no kinks in this line because you're going to get wet. And as you can see, the pressure's going down. Now I've only got that tap half on. The pressure's going down quite fast. So that's immediately telling me that the expansion in this vessel is potentially not enough. Plus also what people tend to forget is that the expansion vessel on this 21E combi, this expansion vessel is very small here, very small. It's only just about enough expansion for the boiler and a few radiators. And it's quite a big bungalow this, so I'd actually suggest to the customer that they need slightly more expansion and another expansion vessel somewhere else in the system. But yeah, for now I just need to get this going. So my next step is to have a look and see what's going on here. It's drained, the vessel's out, the hose is off. But nothing is coming out at all. And I've drained it, but I expected to see a bit of a dribble. So the easiest way to check this, because the vessel hose goes there back into the boiler, is reconnect the mains part here on the filling loop, turn it on, and then turn on this side. And as you can see, actually, it's coming out pretty well. I'm not going mad, and you can also see it's not going up in pressure. So we know that that vessel hose is clear. So that's fantastic news. So the next thing I'm going to crack onto now is the vessel. I'm now outside. I've just checked the serration valve there, and there was air come out of it, but a tiny little bit. So I do believe that the charge has gone on it, because they're literally very heavy. No water come out there, so my suggestions are it's just lost its air gap rather than there actually being a fault with the vessel itself. So I'm just going to turn my machine on, and as you can see, it's saying it's dead. All right, so I'm just going to put it up. For a start, I'm going to put it up over a bar, even though it's designed to be a bar. The reason I do that is the machine will just keep turning off, so I need to keep an eye on this side. So I'm just going to turn it on now. And then I turn it off, and you'll see it's coming out nicely. So we'll just go again. Scorched the rim of water. So I'm just turning it off again, so I know it's not blocked in any way, and I'm going to turn that down to a bar. Like so, and I'm going to press it again. And now it's going to slowly get on with it. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that now while that slowly creeps up. Okay, take a couple of minutes. And yeah, then we'll just check the vessel a bit more and go a bit deeper. Done. So that went up to a bar, no problem at all. And you can see now, listen, it's nice and light. I've checked the serration valve at the end in here. I've made sure there's no leak of air coming by it. There's not. So that's a good charged cylinder now. So I think it just lost its air gap, and by doing that there was no expansion. The expansion obviously went to the boiler then over pressurized, the pressure relief valve lifted and hasn't fully sealed and shut off, which means that's the reason it just keeps all the time dribbling and losing pressure. Then someone comes along, pops it back up to 1.5 bar, repeat. So the best thing to do in this case is stick this back on. That's absolutely fine. And then we're going to stick another Grant pressure relief valve on here. Okay, get that on and screwed in, and pressurise it, run it up, and yeah, see how we get on. Pressure relief valve changed. Just going to come round to here. We're all reconnected up here and vessel down the side here as well. So we're just going to put some pressure in it. That noise there was nothing to do with the boiler, it's a water meter rattling. Okay, here we go. So you can see it's taken a lot longer now. It's flat out the pressure into this. It's taken a lot longer to pressurise than what it did to let it out, basically. So that's telling me I've now got good expansion in the system. So I think this is going to be absolutely fine, this boiler. Here we go. It's a slightly older one. I'm going to stop it about there. So I'm now going to fire it up. As you can see, it's just stabilising now. It's just dropping slightly. That's really just pushing the last bit into the vessel and it will stabilise. Okay, so I'm going to fire it up now. I'm going to wait 20 minutes for the old hot water to satisfy, make sure the heating kicks in, and yeah, I'll be back. And that's it, everyone. That is this week's YouTube vlog. Tick, cha-ching, and done. I'm sorry I didn't show the last little bit of that. The lady had her carers come in, so they were doing something very important, and yeah, I didn't want to record anymore because one, you know, it would have disturbed what they were doing, which to be honest was much more important than me videoing a boiler. So there we go. I'm hoping earlier in the blog, I'm sure it's in there, you'll see the part 2 of the heat slave from last week. As I say, it was all completed on Monday, so yeah, I didn't realise Ryan has some footage of that, which is very good, so that should be in earlier in the vlog. And yeah, 10 days till Christmas, everyone, so I hope you're all getting prepared for that as well. Have a great weekend, look after yourselves, and most of all, see you next week. Stay safe.